Hello, welcome everyone to the live stream. Trying to catch my breath. I had to run through the house. I was going to go live at 2, and then I thought, well, I kind of need to, go drop one, drown one, if you know what I mean. So, I I went to the upstairs bathroom because now I have two bathrooms. I went to the upstairs bathroom and forgot that we were out of toilet paper up there, so I had to bolt for it, and go get toilet paper on the other side of the house. So that was fun times, fun stuff. But anyway, how do you like the new set, everybody? It's obviously not done. I just moved in like a week ago, so this is my new office, my new set. It's a little bit more. The lighting is a little better, I guess. I still got to work on that. Here's my boy Kitty. Let's get into the actual episode, shall we? Because I'm actually really excited about talking about this stuff today. Because I just watched Double or Nothing 2025 and got a lot to say. Plus, we got a lot of news to get into. So, this is the main event, Mark's Podcast. I am your host, lifelong wrestling fan, former radio guy, cat and dog dad, and when I play the slots, I do it in shady back alleys. I am Troy. And this is another live episode, the second ever live episode of the Main Event Marks Podcast. I decided to go live a couple of weeks ago for Double or Nothing 2019, the very first ever Double or Nothing, and it was fun. It was cool. I enjoyed it. I posted it. If you're listening in audio form after the fact, thank you for being here. And tuning in. I appreciate that. If you're watching on video form, I am on Rumble and YouTube. So go ahead and click that subscribe button, or on Rumble, it's the follow button. If you scroll down and the button's green, I believe that means you still have to follow. Trying to get my boy cat off of my desk here. There we go. All right. He'll be back. He never stays gone. But anyway, got a new house, a new chair. This one is more of like a gaming style chair. It's got like a footrest, a massager in the back. I took that out because it's stabbing me right now. But yeah, it's a lot of new stuff. But I decided to wear my Young Bucks shirt for today's show. Obviously, as you can see, it's one of the really old ones from Hot Topic. They don't still sell in Hot Topic, do they? I don't think they do. I remember that was like me and Greg's favorite quote by them one time during a match. They were like, "We can't lose. We have a deal with Hot Topic." I loved that, but obviously them being marks again. But it is what it is. It was funny. But yeah. So, some things went down this past weekend. You had Saturday night's main event on Friday, I want to say. And then you had NXT Battleground and AEW Double or Nothing on Saturday. I did not watch Saturday night's main event. Didn't really interest me. I saw the main event was John Cena versus R-Truth. Storyline-wise, that's intriguing, I guess, but I don't know. Cena isn't the Cena of old, and R-Truth he's fine, but he's not a main event guy, in my opinion. So I really didn't care to see their match. I saw them at Capital Combat years ago. Does anybody remember Capital Combat? That was something. And I believe, or was it Capital? No, it was Capital Punishment. I'm sorry, Capital Combat was WCW or NWA, whatever the hell you want to call it. The Capital Punishment, it really was Capital Punishment to watch that show. It was a bad, terrible show. They had a Barack Obama impersonator, which I don't know why Vince McMahon loved getting Democrat politician impersonators in on his show. Because he had a Bill Clinton impersonator at WrestleMania 10, I believe. He just called him the president. And then he brought the Barack Obama impersonator out. He got booed. And then he had a Hillary Clinton impersonator on a show. It's like, dude, what's with you getting these impersonators and then pretending like they're the real person? it was real weird. But anyway, that was Vince McMahon for you. But yeah, I didn't really give a damn about Saturday night's main event. Other than Cena winning, I have no idea what the hell happened on the show past that. I did. I didn't watch it in full. I watched like the highlights and I read reviews of Battleground. It seemed like a pretty decent show all around. There were a couple of matches that intrigued me more than others. The Mafia guys match. I know Stacks. I forget the other guy's name. I haven't watched NXT in like years. I just see like clips, whatever. Sol Roca and her opponent. I forget. I don't know who she took on. Anyway, like I said, that one wasn't as important to me. That match seemed okay. The the main event was oh crap! It was Stephanie. Or no, that wasn't the main event. The main event was really good. Trick Williams, or at least what I saw of it. Trick Williams and Joe Hendry, where Trick actually won the AEW title. That was pretty cool. Or TNA title. Gosh, I can't even speak right off the bat. Who the hell was it? NXT Battleground 2025. Stephanie Vacure took on somebody. Oh, Jordan Grace. Duh. Yeah. From what I saw, that was pretty good. Both of them are great. Obafemi looks like a freaking star. I not familiar with Miles Bourne. He kind of looks like Randy Orton off of Timu, which we're going to talk about somebody else that looks like that on the AEW show. But honestly, I'm not super, like I said, I'm not really familiar with NXT guys. Hank and Tank, Josh Briggs defeated the Culling. Cool. And then Channing Stacks Lorenzo and Tony D'Angelo. That's it. The storyline behind that one seemed cool. I didn't follow it very much, but it looked like it had stuff behind it. My cat's here sabotaging me here, crawling all over my crap. Let's see. Like I said, Obafemi just looks like a freaking star every time I see him. He needs to be on the main roster. He did good stuff with Moose when they were working together. He's great, and he God dang it, pal, just look at him. He's huge. He's beefy. He's not like a giant, but he's a tall guy. I don't know. I want to know exactly how tall he is. I wonder if I can find that out. He is 6'6". Okay, so he's, like I said, he's not a giant, but he's a big bro. Trick Williams is great. I think he's a freaking star. He had a great match with Joe Hendry. I'm gonna kick my cats out and close the damn door. Give me a second here, because they will not stop crawling all over my damn equipment. I can't trust them. Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they didn't. They don't dig at the door, because they like doing that. If I don't let them into a room, they'll just dig at the freaking door until I let them in. But anyway, enough about NXT. Like I said, everyone seemed fine. But let's see. On the following episode of NXT, it was announced that NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Vacure would team with Lola Vice to take on Chic, Tormenta, and Dallas at Worlds Collide. We got a story about Worlds Collide that's kind of funny that we'll get into. But either way, what we're here to talk about today, obviously, AEW. I did watch that one. I do know everybody's name on that show. But I'm going in kind of with a clean slate as far as how I'm viewing everything. I have no emotional connection. I have no I have no reason to, like, I don't deeply care about AEW. I don't watch all the time. I catch it when I can. But this show was fine. Like, I heard some AEW nerds pretending like this was an amazing show. It's like, it was fine. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't terrible. It was fine, and we'll get into that. I'll talk about the my actual thoughts on each match. But first, I am bringing back my favorite part of the show. Instead of retro news today, because we're going current, I'm going to go with some current news that I actually wanted to talk about. Most of this is from the Wrestling Observer, although one story is not. But legendary wrestling commentator Jim Ross successfully underwent colon cancer surgery, with doctors hopeful that all cancer was removed. His podcast co-host and friend Conrad Thompson, hey, it's Conrad, shared the positive update, asking fans to keep the 73-year-old in their thoughts and prayers as he begins recovery. Prior to surgery, Ross maintained a positive attitude, tweeting his determination to beat cancer. Ross announced his diagnosis on May 15th, and despite ongoing health issues in recent years, has no intention of retiring. After seeing him lately, I think that's a bad call. I love me some Jim Ross. I love good old JR. I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for him, but he needs to call it a day. All right, it's bad, man. Like, I'm sure you have enough money in the bank. You don't need this job. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I saw him in, I don't know how long ago this was, but he had one of those off the ropes whatever's with that Kenny guy. I can't remember his last name. He's like Scottish. He used to be with What Culture, and he flies people over to Scotland or the UK, wherever, and they'll do these long interviews, like just breaking down their careers or parts of their career or whatever. Dude, JR was in a bad way. Like, he was talking extremely slow, extremely low. He was forgetting major details, or it wasn't like major like he was fuzzy on some stuff that's like he kept calling Rikishi Rodney, who, if anybody knows, that was Yokozuna was Rodney Anawai. I don't remember Rikishi's actual name. I know they called him Fatu. I don't know if that's now I'm gonna have to look it up, but either way, he's not doing great. His commentary has been, we'll just say, lackluster for many years. When he actually does speak, which, granted, he doesn't talk that much when he commentates, and we'll get into that with Tony Schiavone on this show. Okay, so Rikishi's name is Salofa Fatu Jr. Okay, so, but they call him Fatu. Either way, it's I think JR, call it a career, man. You've had a good one. I appreciate, we all love you and appreciate you, but enjoy your twilight years. Wrapping this up, though, he expressed gratitude to AEW and the Khan family for their support, and said that he hopes to return to commentary for future AEW pay-per-view events. His focus now is on healing and helping others however he can. I'll caveat that when I say he needs to retire. If he's going to be behind the scenes, I think that's fine. Like, if he's like helping choreograph commentary, if he's helping people, if he's helping them book, if he's helping them set stuff up, I think that's all perfectly fine. Like, he's still very capable of doing that. I think when he's healthy, I think his mind is still there. But he's going through a lot, and he's went through a lot. Dude, I'll say this, I don't care how much, if I fall into a career, like, I really love writing, I want to be an author, like a full-time author someday. If I fall into that and everything, I don't plan on working full-time in my 70s. I would enjoy, just calling it a day. If I write something, I don't want to be on some big deadline. It's kind of like, I get it done when I get it done, and I sell it when I sell it, and then I just spend my days with my wife and kids and grandkids and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go through all that. Nobody should, honestly. Too many people work way too long in their lives, I'll say, when they shouldn't. But, I guess whatever makes you happy. I can't fault him for that. Either way. Somebody who didn't kick out, unfortunately, Rick Derringer, the musician behind Hulk Hogan's iconic theme Real American and other classic WWE entrance songs, has died at the age of 77. A key figure during the rock and wrestling era in the 1980s, Derringer collaborated with Cyndi Lauper and co-produced The Wrestling Album in 1985 and Pile Driver, The Wrestling Album 2 in 1987, contributing to themes for stars like Junkyard Dog, Demolition, and the Honky Tonk Man. I had no idea about that, by the way. I knew about Hogan. That was it. And obviously, he had a big hit, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. His work helped define WWE's musical identity during its rise in pop culture prominence. Also, I didn't know about this because the band is called the McCoys, but he was the lead singer for the band the McCoys back in the day. The only thing I know of that they ever did was called, it's the official state rock song for my state of Ohio. They play it every single Ohio State Buckeyes game. It's called Hang On Sloopy. I don't know who the hell Sloopy is or what it means, but, it's my state song. I have pride in it, so R.I.P. Mr. Derringer. Plus, Real American is just, it's always a banger. No matter your thoughts on Hulk Hogan, that shouldn't matter. It is, in fact, a banger. I forgot. Let me turn my mic up a little bit. All right. That might be better. There we go. All right. And down a little bit. Okay. Back to the news, but rest in peace, Derringer. You know what I'm saying? Know what I mean, Vern? Take your pills. All right. This is still going on. This was unexpected, at least by me. Janelle Grant has officially dropped all claims against John Laurinaitis. People power! In her ongoing lawsuit alleging SA against WWE and Vince McMahon. The dismissal, filed in Connecticut federal court, is with prejudice, meaning Grant cannot refile against Laurinaitis. Her lawsuit continues against McMahon and WWE. Both parties will cover their own legal costs, and Laurinaitis has agreed to provide evidence in the case going forward. So, well, I'll finish the story and then I'll get to this. According to a joint statement, Laurinaitis has settled confidentially and will cooperate in holding McMahon and WWE accountable. There you go. Okay. Calling the move a pivotal step in Grant's pursuit for justice. The case is currently pending a decision on whether it will proceed publicly or be sent to private arbitration. Deadlines for legal motions regarding arbitration are set for June, with a judge expected to rule shortly after. Yeah, okay. So that's exactly why she dropped it against him. She's like, look, I know you were just like the bag man, or whatever. You were just helping out Vince. I don't totally hate you. So, what do you say? I drop this against you, and you help me take him down. And John was like, people power. I'll get you whatever you need. You want a back rub? Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Oiling you up is probably inappropriate, isn't it? Oh, God. Oh, man. Look at those pecs. Anyway. That's how you got in this situation, Johnny. But allegedly. But yeah, I haven't broke out the John Laurinaitis impression in a while, so there you go. Anyway, yeah, so he's turning on McMahon. He's the only other person that was named in the suit, I guess, other than, WWE as a whole. So, whatever. John Laurinaitis lives to perv another day, allegedly. This one is one you can't really make fun of in any way, shape, or form. This is just effed. Former pro wrestler Billy Jack Haynes, who I actually talked about on the show in the past, years ago, is facing a lawsuit from the estate of his late wife, Jeanette Becraft. whatever, who he is accused of taking the life of in February 2024. I got to clean it up because we're on YouTube and, they're strict about that crap. Anyway, although Haynes has been charged with second-degree, taking of life and unlawful use of a weapon, a judge ruled earlier this month that he is mentally unfit to stand trial, and he has been placed in Oregon State Hospital. I mean, if you've heard anything he's said in the last few years, at least the last few years. Now, Beecroft's daughter has filed a civil lawsuit against alleging 5 years of mental, physical, and financial abuse leading up to the 85-year-old woman's passing. The lawsuit accused Haynes of isolating Beecroft and her family, draining her finances, exposing her to illegal substances, coercing her into marriage, and altering her estate plans to benefit himself. This was another one that she was a lot older than him. I think she babysat him or was a friend of his mom's or something like that. This was really weird and gross all the way around, besides the stuff that I'm reading here. But anyway, it also claims he manipulated her medical care and had her buy a Bang Bang for him despite his criminal record. Once a wrestling star in Portland and a participant at WrestleMania 3. Got to get that one in there. Haynes later became known for spreading conspiracy theories and was featured in a recent Dark Side of the Ring episode where he denied ending the life of Beecroft. So there you go. Man, things are not looking good for old Billy Jack. They have not for years, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, I think, allegedly, in my opinion, he is nuts, and he's got a lot of bad stuff going on. He has for years. I feel really bad for this woman. I feel bad for her daughter. Nothing you could really do. The point about the WrestleMania 3 one, that was when we reviewed that on the show, now in the archives. He took on Hercules, I believe. That match just sucked. It was not good. And Bobby Heenan. Gosh, I wanted to say Bobby Hill for some reason. Bobby Heenan kept calling him Billy Jerk Haynes, and Greg thought that was really unoriginal. I thought it was funny, but yeah, Billy Jerk Haynes was the big brain nickname for him. But yeah, this is sad. I don't know. Billy Jack has had a bad life in the last few years, and allegedly took a life. So I hope he didn't, but, it is what it is. All right, more current stuff here in WWE. This one's also upsetting. Zoe Starks has begun recovering after undergoing surgery for a knee injury sustained during a WWE Raw match on May 19th. If anybody saw that, it's kind of, she springboards and for some reason lands on her feet, and her foot kind of her knee bends inward, her knee bends towards the other knee. It's not good, and she goes down instantly, has to be carried to the back. It's not good, believe me, not good. Let's see, the injury occurred during a mistimed springboard missile dropkick. Oh, that's what it was? Okay. Leading to her immediate removal from the bout, which was ultimately won by Rhea Ripley. While the exact nature of her injury isn't disclosed, Starks confirms that she'll be out for a while and expressed gratitude for fan support, saying the setback only fuels her comeback. This marks Starks' second major knee surgery, her first being in 2021 for a torn ACL and meniscus. Yeah, she's had some bad luck with her knees, man. I feel so bad for Zoe Starks. In my opinion, she's a very talented wrestler. I don't think she's she's not at the level of people like, Rhea and Charlotte and Becky and Alexa and whatever. But she's really good. I've always thought she held her ground real well in the ring, held her own. So, and it just sucks to see somebody go down with an injury like that, especially when it's something that's man, your knee again, man. and this one requires surgery. She said it's going to be a while before she gets back in the ring. Poor woman. That's all I can say. WWE has yet to finalize or announce the dates for WrestleMania 42, scheduled as a 2-night event next year in Las Vegas due to a scheduling conflict at Allegiant Stadium. Yeah, so I had heard rumblings that it was Vegas. Have they confirmed? I haven't seen any confirmation. Has WWE actually come out themselves and said it's 100% happening again in Vegas, or is it just buzz? Because like I said, I have not seen anything where they have come out themselves and been like, yep, it's Vegas. Anyway, the venue is already booked by a major act unwilling to reschedule. I wonder who that is. It's got to be a rock group, right? I mean, or some kind of musical act. That's all I can think. Delaying WWE's ability to confirm the event's official dates. Okie doke. So they're basically saying, yeah, it's going to be in Vegas, but we don't know when. So they haven't locked it down yet. Okie doke. I still want to know why they pulled out of New Orleans. They said that they've never given an official reason. They're just like, oh, Money in the Bank's going to be there now. Cool, dude, I guess. Not that I give a damn. I'm not going, so it doesn't really affect me. But, no offense to my Louisiana listeners if I have any, but New Orleans sucks, all right? I went down there. So many people are, oh, man, I love, Bourbon Street, and I love Louisiana and whatever. Dude, Louisiana sucks. New Orleans sucks unless you're I love the food. I will say that. They have great food. I love gumbo and jambalaya. I love seafood, gator bites. All of it was good stuff. The barbecue was good. Hell, even the tacos were good. But there was nothing to do unless I'm not a bar hopper, okay? If you're a partier, a bar hopper, you might have a good time. Greg and I were we were really trying, okay? There's not a lot going on down there if you're not into partying. He's not a drinker. He was not a drinker. He never had a drink a day in his life. Neither one of us like big crowds and parties and whatever, so that wasn't our scene. We walked down Bourbon Street a couple of times and we were like, whatever. And then we got in the car and left. There's nothing to do. So we were there for a week and I'm like, ugh. When there wasn't a wrestling show going on, we kind of just we looked for stores to go fig hunting in, and that was about it. But I don't know. I don't, like I said, bottom line, I don't care for it. But I wouldn't like Vegas either, and I know that's a big party town or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a stick in the mud. I don't gamble a whole lot. I did gamble in Vegas, or not Vegas, New Orleans. I gambled in New Orleans when we were there. They had a casino and I guess it's all kind of a crappy part of town, but we went to a casino, played some slots, and that was about it, man. Anyway, the May 24th episode of Saturday Night's Main Event, which I talked about earlier, drew 1.97 million viewers on NBC, marking its best ratings yet in the new era, boosted by stars like John Cena, CM Punk, and Logan Paul. Was Paul there? Like I said, I don't watch. The show saw major gains in viewership and the 18 to 49 demo. All right, I gotta ask, was it good? Was the show good? Because it was kind of mixed. It was a mixed bag among my friends that actually watched it. They were like, it was fine. Nothing you need to run out and watch. Then again, Double or Nothing was also kind of a mixed bag with my friends as well. The only ones jumping for joy over Double or Nothing, I will say, are the actual hardcore AEW nerds that I saw online. Other than that, if you're just a casual fan or just not a big AEW guy, you're just I watch the shows, but it's not my favorite, whatever. You were just kind of unimpressed. And I was disappointed because I love their pay-per-views. Even when I don't pay attention to their shows, I always admit their pay-per-views go hard. This one was meh. But anyway, that's coming up. This is kind of a weird story. WWE has entered into a multi-year partnership with Seagram's to launch its first licensed ready-to-drink alcoholic beverage. So teaming with Seagrams, so they're trying to appeal to the female audience. That's nice. Or the men with more sugar in their tank, I should say. That too. But the collaboration includes 3 WWE-themed flavors: Rumble Punch, Slammin' Blueberry, and Pineapple Powerhouse. I can't imagine being at a party and, like, you pull one of those out of the cooler. Like, if I was having, like, a WrestleMania party or something, I might buy those as, like, a meme kind of thing. It's like, there's beer in the cooler right next to the Seagram's Rumble Punch and Pineapple Powerhouse. Yeah, get me one of them. Anyway. God, under the Seagram's Escaped Spike line, okay, as part of the deal, Seagram's will sponsor a match at WWE's Money in the Bank on June 7th, oh goody, and feature in future premium live events like SummerSlam and Survivor Series. Seagram's presents Survivor Series. I can see it now. You remember the old Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc? Oh, man, like, they're going to make the corner post look like a Seagram's bottle. It's genius. It's going to be great. Good crap, pal. Let me see. The partnership also includes branded signage, of course, in-show graphics, of course, a digital content series, whatever that means, and talent appearances at Seagram-sponsored events. Oh, goody. L.A. Knight, yeah, he's going to have to show up and pretend like he gives a crap about drinking Seagrams. I love Seagrams. It's the best. I mean, whatever. WWE may have, this is what I was talking about earlier with the Worlds Collide event. WWE may have unintentionally spoiled an upcoming AAA title match by advertising Chad Gable versus El Hijo del Vikingo for the AAA Mega Championship at Worlds Collide during Raw, even though Vikingo has not yet won the title. He is scheduled to challenge current champion Alberto El Patron this Saturday at a AAA taping. Vikingo appeared in the crowd during Raw and got involved in a Money in the Bank qualifier, attacking Gable after being provoked, which led to chaos in the match, ultimately won by Penta. I love, by the way, that Chad Gable is still going with this whole, like, I hate Mexicans gimmick. Like, it was fun at first, and the whole Grande Americano, whatever, El Grande Americano thing, like, I thought it was fun and funny, whatever. But man, this has been going on for a while. Like, what's the end? What's the end goal here? Like, what's the big match? Because I thought maybe it was Phoenix or Penta. I thought maybe it was Rey Mysterio. It's none of them. So is it going to be Psycho Clown? His big match is going to be a Triple Mania against Psycho Clown. Hair versus hair match. Maybe, I don't know. It's got to end in Lucha de Apuestas, right? Like mask for hair, hair for hair, something like that. Right? I don't know. That's all I can think of. But yeah, so they spoiled it, most likely. I like how they're like, okay, we bought AAA. First thing, get Alberto the F out of here. Like, have him drop the belt now. Moving on. It's funny. But here's one. I didn't realize she was released. But Jakara Jackson, now wrestling as Mara Sade, I don't know, will make her post-WWE debut on July 6th in Asbury Park, New Jersey, home of Bam Bam Bigelow, for those that, know that kind of stuff, challenging Masha Slamovich for the Jersey Championship Wrestling World Championship. At first it said JCW, and I thought they were talking about the Juggalo Championship Wrestling, and I'm like, no way. Like, is that a thing? But no, it's Jersey Championship Wrestling, so there you go. But released on May 2nd by WWE, Jackson confirmed her intention to continue wrestling and recently competed at TNA Rebellion. Good for her, I guess. I don't know. That's another one. Like I said, I haven't kept up with NXT for years. Is Jakara Jackson worth a damn? she looks like she belongs there, but that doesn't mean anything, really. So, last story I got, though. Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 14 is set for August 2nd at the Williams Center in Rutherford, New Jersey. It will be the second of 3 Bloodsport events planned for 2025, with the third debuting in London this September. They're going international for Bloodsport, but first they're going to New Jersey. Ugh. Look, again, no offense to any of my, if I have any listeners or viewers in New Jersey, Greg always used to say this. When he went to New York, he said, I knew exactly when we got to New Jersey because it was like a wall of stench that you had to drive through to get into New Jersey. He's like, just the whole state stinks coming from New York. So, I don't know. And you hear a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't live there, but I don't want to live there. There's a lot of stuff I hear. But anyway, I hear things. But anyway, that does it for that. I think it's time to get into the show here. How deep are we into the show already? 36 minutes into the show already. All right, well, that's normal for the news segment. So let's get into the AEW Double or Nothing 2025, shall we? It took place on May 25th, the year of our Lord 2025. The venue is the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona. Attendance was about 8,500. That's all I could find. Couldn't get pay-per-view buy rates. They don't have those public yet, I guess. Anyway, the 2025 Double or Nothing marks an historic change as it's the first time the event is held outside of the Las Vegas arena, except the pandemic years. The venue's name, tied to the Desert Diamond Casinos, preserves the casino motif. Like in 2023, this edition of Double or Nothing coincided with WWE's NXT Battleground event, which I talked about earlier. WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels previously noted that the timing wasn't meant as a direct competition, but rather due to the success of WWE events have seen on holiday weekends. Normally, I could buy that. And I really don't care one way or another if they were directly competing on purpose or not. I could give a damn less. But for those that do care, I can kind of believe that. It makes sense, but I don't know. It's a little sus. Anyway, on the pre-show, Anna Jay and Harley Cameron defeated Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford via pinfall. I did not watch the pre-show. I just watched the actual show itself, so I have no opinion on it. Also, Bandito, AR Fox, and Los Titans del Air, who are Hologram and Commander, defeated RPG Vice, who's Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta, formerly known as Roppongi Vice, and CRU, Crew, whatever, which is Action Andrade and Leo Rush, via pinfall. And now we get into the stuff that I actually did watch on the show. We are introduced to the show by Excalibur, with Taz and Tony Schiavone. And we get into our first match pretty quickly. They don't waste a lot of time on the show with non-wrestling stuff, which I can kind of appreciate. I will say their build-up packages have gotten a lot better throughout the years, because now I can kind of be caught up to speed as, like I mentioned, somebody who does not watch on a weekly basis. Now I kind of know what's going on going into these matches, which I really appreciate. I always like that about WWE too, even though there for a while I was watching on a weekly basis with WWE. Sometimes you forget, and it's nice. First match is Mercedes Moné taking on Jamie Hayter in the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament Finals. It lasted 21 minutes and 15 seconds. Yikes. These were all pretty long matches. But this isn't just an AEW thing. I just want to make that clear. But does anybody remember when superplexes used to be a big deal? Like a double down, sometimes a finish. Now, it's nothing. Like, they get right up from it. They pop up and Superman it. Dumb. Like, it is a big move, and it actually does hurt. So, I don't know. It's a big bump. Anyway, Mercedes hits about 500 backcrackers in this match, so she's clearly learning from the Bucks and Omega on how to make moves meaningless. Like, I'm like, how many of these stupid... The Meteoras were bad enough, but now she's doing like 500 backcrackers in a match. Like, dude, like, add to your arsenal. But she ends up winning with a surprise roll-up. Does AEW ever have this chick lose? Like, ever? Like, her whole thing, like, she left WWE because she's like, I don't win enough. And now she's just, like, literally never loses. Ever. It's like, eye-rolling. She comes off as a huge mark. But anyway, this wasn't great. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. It was fine up until the end. So I felt no excitement until, like, the last 2 minutes. So I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't a bad match by any means. I actually gave it 3 stars, so it was above average. The Uncle Dave has not come out with his star ratings yet, so I went with CageMatch.net, which, you know, the voters on that website are the best of the best. You know, they gave this 4.25 stars, which is insane. Just objectively, it's nuts. Like, there's no universe this is that good. And it was fine. It was a fine match, but 4.25 star? Come on. But Mercedes Moné poses with the Owen Hart Foundation Women's title and trophy on the stage as Pyro shoots off. Yay. But up next, we get FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler with Stokely in their corner, taking on Daniel Garcia with is it Daddy Magic or Danny Magic? Because I'm pretty sure he used to call himself Daddy Magic, but maybe I'm wrong. This is going to be in my search history. Yeah, okay, Daddy Magic. I was right. Daddy Magic AEW. Matt Menard. So does he just go by Daddy Magic now? Because they didn't call him Matt Menard at all during this match. Like I said, I don't watch consistently, so I don't know. But either way, I know who he is. I was just like, hey, what? I know he had a real name at one point. But it's Daniel Garcia with Daddy Magic and Nigel McGuinness. Went for 22.5 minutes. It's nice to see who could possibly give a damn Daniel Garcia finally teaming with a real star like Nigel McGuinness. I still don't get it. I think Garcia looks like crap. I think he dances like an idiot. Is this why AEW nerds like him, though? Because he dances like an idiot and he looks like crap? Is that just up their alley? There's nothing special about this kid. But FTR messes with Tony Schiavone throughout the match. And he's at commentary. They keep like sliding out to mess with him. We get another version of Moves Mean Nothing as Dancing Daniel Garcia kicks out of multiple pile drivers. At once thought to be a career-ending move. Now, kick out of multiple. Okay. FTR completely destroys these guys late in the match, keeping Nigel away from Garcia after a shatter machine on the outside. Apparently they don't call it the big rig anymore. And they make Daniel tap to a sharpshooter. He should be the one that taps. But I gave this 2.5. FTR was fine. Garcia sucked. Nigel did what he could do. Cage Match gave it 3. 3 stars for this. Nothing impressive about this match whatsoever. So, I don't know. I'm not buying into it. I still don't like Daniel Garcia. I never will. There's nothing impressive about that douche. Whatever. But I do like seeing Nigel McGuinness back in the ring. There were so many people, by the way, just as an aside, so many people on the show that I'm like, and other people on the AEW roster that were not on the show, I'm like, man, they had to come here because WWE was like, you're too old and banged up, or you've got a really serious injury, and we just can't, in good conscience put you back in the ring. And they're like, fine, I'll go to AEW. They'll throw anybody in the ring. Like, okay. And I mean, they're thriving, so good for them. As long as AEW isn't on the line for them if they get hurt, I guess. But back to this. The next match is Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe in a stretcher match. It goes for 16 minutes, 20 seconds. Mark gives a few shout-outs to Sabu during this match. Recently passed away, obviously. He gets busted open at one point because Mark's got to bleed, pal. Ricochet gets Mark in the ambulance, but Mark holds the door open with a crutch. Mark hits a froggy bow at one point through a table to the outside of the ring. They stab each other with scissors. Gross. Not needed at all. Ricochet eventually hits a clothesline on a kneeling Mark Briscoe, tosses him into the ambulance, and closes the door for the win. I gave it 2.5 stars. It was a mess. They did a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. Or, well, not a short amount of time. It was a decent amount of time. But they did a lot of stuff. There was blood. There was weapons. Yada, yada, etc., etc. 2.5. Average. And then, I don't know. Mark Briscoe is fine. He's always been the other Briscoe. And I hate saying it that way, but he is. Not that I think he's bad. He's just the other Briscoe. And Ricochet, again, he's fine. I don't know why he's in a match like this. It's whatever. I guess trying to show that he can do other things besides just flippy circus act crap. I don't know. This wasn't great. But CageMatch.net gave it 4 stars. 4 stars, everybody. Okie doke. Give me a damn break. Anyway. Up next is probably it is one of the worst matches of the night. If not the worst match, it is probably the worst match of the night. It was the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, with MVP and MJF in their corner. They're taking on the Sons of Texas, which are Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, for the AEW World Tag Team titles. This goes about 12 and a half minutes. So, MJF really wanted to join the Hurt Business. He really wanted into the Hurt Business, so they finally let him in. But he doesn't belong there, really. He doesn't fit in, for reasons, besides the obvious. But, so he's there. I know that part of it all. And MVP is, the handler of everybody. And he's trying to keep the peace. But either way, MJF keeps getting involved and messing up the Hurt Business, or the Hurt Syndicate, or in this one. I kept calling it Hurt Business, whatever. Lashley eventually tells him to quit, but when MJF rakes Dustin's eyes outside, Lashley is able to spear Dustin through the railing, and Lashley then poses with MJF, showing, oh, we're all good, everything's fine, he helped me out, blah, 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 blah. Shelton eventually hits a super kick on Guevara for the pinfall win. Cage match... I'll give you mine first. I rated this 2.5 stars. Again, average. It was a fine 12.5-minute tag team match. Nothing special whatsoever. I expected more, to be honest with you. Cage Match gave this 3 stars. So they just love everything on the show. Everything. Whatever. You like what you like, I guess. But, man, these are all the nerds. These are the ones that, because Tony Khan has used CageMatch.net a few times to, try to bolster his arguments. Well, you see, I got this rating for such and such on CageMatch.net. Are you really bringing that to an argument, Tony Khan? And so, all the AEW nerds now, flood CageMatch.net. Okay. But anyway, after the match, the Hurt Syndicate poses in the ring together, presenting a united front. There you go. Next is probably my favorite match of the night. It is Kazuchika Okada defending the AEW Continental title. Not Intercontinental. It's only on one continent. Only one continent it gets defended on. Which continent? Who knows? But he's defending that title against Speedball Mike Bailey, who I've only ever seen clips of until this point. This goes a little over 16 minutes. In the end, Okada catches Bailey out of midair with a drop kick, hits the Rainmaker, and wins. I didn't take a lot of notes for this one. It was just, I was enjoying it. These guys are great, And this was my favorite match of the night. So, yeah, it was really good. Mike Bailey is better than, like, I kept hearing hype about him, but I was like, whatever. He's really good. The kicking stuff he does expertly. Like, you can tell, like, he knows what the hell he's doing with his kicks. The wrestling barefoot thing is a little weird. I know some people do it. Asuka did it for a little while. It just, but he's good. I enjoyed the match. Okada still has it. When he wants to bring it, he will bring it. You know what I mean? He's still Okada. I give it 4 stars. I loved it. I loved this match. It didn't go too long. I could have watched more of it and been fine, but it is what it is. And CageMatch.net they one up me. They gave it 4.5 stars. So cool. But up next, it is for the AEW Women's Title. Timeless Toni Storm, the most cringy woman in wrestling. The second most. The cringiest woman in wrestling is her name Lyons, Nakia Lyons or whatever. She's unbearably cringy, and she looks like she's trying to use wrestling to bolster a modeling / rap career or something. Ugh. Nikita Lyons, that's it. She's terrible. Timeless Toni Storm. She's a great wrestler. I like the gimmick. Her promos are stupid and cringe. I hate it. Hate it. I will say that until I'm blue in the face. But anyway, Timeless Toni Storm with Luther is defending her title. Who would have thought after all these years Luther would still be here? Gosh, I mocked the hell out of him when he first showed up. Greg did too. He's been with everybody under the freaking sun trying to keep his job. But he found a niche as the butler or whatever of Toni Storm. But she defends against Mina Shirakawa. And this one goes just shy of 16 minutes. This is the first time I ever saw a full-length Mina Shirakawa match, too. So she's really good. Yeah, she comes off like she's an e-girl or something, and she's got some stupid dance she does on the stage, comes out with bright lights and music and whatever, doing some little dance, and she acts like an e-girl, but she's a really good wrestler. Behind all of that, good stuff, pal. But Mina works the knee of Toni throughout the entire match. After trading roll-up, pinfall, near falls, Toni finally catches Mina with Storm Zero out of nowhere for the win. I give it 3.5. It was a really good match, and it didn't go too long. Again, it could have been longer, and I would have been fine with it, but I think this was a good time. CageMatch.net also gave it 3.5. It's the only time we agreed all night. So yeah, I liked what they did together. It's good stuff, pal. And obviously Toni Storm is great in the ring. So, but after the match, Toni helps Mina Shirakawa to her feet, and they kiss, of course, because everything's got to come down to that with Toni Storm. Everything is like sexual in nature and whatever. It's like she's got stunted growth mentally or something, arrested development. Like, that's all she talks about, all she thinks about, every one of her promos. It's like I said, it's cringy and immature. But anyway, then Mina drops to her knees and she kisses Toni's leg before she takes off. We now get a teaser graphic for All In, where Toni Storm will defend her title against Mercedes Moné. And then Luther carries Toni to the back. Yeah. Okay, so now we get to the crap show of the night. This next match was effing wild. I don't know what else to say about this. This was something. I have seen these before, and I hate them every single time because I think they're just a giant crap show. It's better than football field effery, but yeah, it's just, I kind of want to hear, just because he'll be funny about it, I kind of want to hear Jim Cornette's review of this, and I don't listen to Jim Cornette a whole lot. I really don't. Some people might think I do. I honestly swear to God I do not. So, but I want to hear his review of this because it would be hilarious as hell. I'll try to hit the high points of this. but it's anarchy in the arena. It goes 35 minutes and 10 seconds. God dang. The first team, Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana. The Ops, which is Powerhouse Hobbs, Katsuyori Shibata, and Samoa Joe, Kenny Omega, and Willow Nightingale, taking on the Death Riders of Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Useless, Wheeler Yuta, and Marina Shafir, and the Young Bucks of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. They're still going with that crap. But Swerve comes out dressed like the Predator. That was pretty cool, actually. I like Swerve. I don't like some of the hardcore crap that he's been doing in AEW, but, whatever. Omega is dressed like Captain America, which is funny because he's Canadian. Per usual, the Death Riders come through the crowd. The Young Bucks come out dressed like American Founding Fathers and had Justin Roberts read an entire speech about them being founding fathers of AEW. This one was like, I know it's their gimmick to be over the top and stupid and goofy or whatever, but man, I'm like, what is this? Let's see. Samoa Joe pops up in the crowd and beats up Claudio. The stupidest part of all this crap is the damn music that shifts from the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks came out to some, like, flute, whatever, like they're going into battle in the Revolutionary War. And then it switches to, I'm so excited. I guess that was supposed to be funny while everybody's making each other bleed. Cool. And then it switches to Bodies by Drowning Pool. And then that just plays on a loop. But there's too much crap going on for me to keep up with it. I'll hit the highlights. Moxley repeatedly stabs Hobbs with a fork. Cool. Omega and Hobbs throw Yuta off a tunnel in the audience into security that was all bunched up. And then he dives onto them. Willow shatters a bottle over Marina's head. Shibata wraps barbed wire around his foot and kicks Yuta. Nana drives Swerve out on a forklift so he can dive off and stomp the Bucks on the stage. That was actually pretty cool. Shafir padlocks Willow's ear to the ring post, which is gross. But Nana comes out and unlocks her, because he's got her back. Good looking out there, Prince Nana. We get staple guns, because that's what we need in this match. Hook then gets involved against the Death Riders, and then A-Kid gets involved against Omega and company, because more people is what this match called for. Kenny Omega eats an EVP trigger while eating a mouthful of thumbtacks, so they're still doing that. Because thumbtacks is exactly what this match was lacking as well. Now, Mark Briscoe comes back out to attack A-Kid. They all lock A-Kid and the Death Riders into the ambulance from earlier before teaming up on the Bucks. Omega hits the one-winged angel to Matthew off the stage through an exploding table. You heard that right. Then Swerve hits a double stomp onto Nicholas while wearing his new Reebok sneakers with thumbtacks on the bottom, and he pins him for the win. God, it was entertaining, but this was just pure garbage, so I just gave it 3 stars. I cannot, in good conscience, rate this highly when it's just mass chaos garbage. And I know people can say all the time, but that's the point of it. Well, the dog taking a dump out on my lawn, that's the point of her being out there, is to take a dump. Doesn't mean it's pretty. All right? So I don't care what you call this. I'm not a fan of garbage wrestling, but it was entertaining to an extent, so that's why I gave it 3 stars. But CageMatch.net gave it 4.5. Damn near a perfect score for this thing. Why? Don't know. Well, I do know, because they're all nerds, but whatever. Okay, by the way, I may have spoke too soon, because up next, I think, may be the worst match of the night. And it shouldn't have been, but it was. It's the Callis family, which is, I'm probably going to mispronounce his name. I've always had an issue with pronouncing his name. I apologize. Konosuke Takeshita. Did I do all right? Konosuke Takeshita. Whatever. Anyway, him, Josh Alexander, and Kyle Fletcher, who is the other. He looks like Randy Orton stuck in the Matrix. It's a weird look. And I'm like, why are you trying actively to look like Randy Orton? Down to the designs on your trunks. The only thing he has kick pads, and Randy Orton doesn't have kick pads because he doesn't kick. But anyway, they're with Don Callis and Lance Archer. They're taking on Paragon, which is the fifth name for this team, I swear. It's Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole. They were in a trios match that goes 12 minutes, 50 seconds. How is it that Adam Cole looks more and more physically unimpressive every time I see him? And I know I'm not in shape. I am not a guy to be talking, but like I am also not a professional athlete or a professional wrestler of any kind. I don't have to be buff. I don't have to be in shape for camera purposes. He just looks like he needs to eat a cheeseburger. That's all I'm going to say. But in the end, O'Reilly gets a standing guillotine choke on Fletcher. Takeshita socks him in the face. And then Fletcher nails a brain buster on O'Reilly for the win. I gave it 2 stars. Sucked. Below average. Just suck match. CageMatch.net gave it 3 1/4 stars. Because, nothing is average or below on this card. Of course not. After the match, everyone brawls because this has to continue. Archer gets involved. The other members of the Callis family run out to help. Then the Hounds of Hell, which is apparently Tomohiro Ishii and Brody King, come out to help with Hiroshi Tanahashi. Yes, Hiroshi Tanahashi is with them. They team up on the Callis family. Tanahashi hits somebody with a sling blade, I forget who, and the Callis family takes a powder. This was weird, but that is it for that. Now we're finally on to the main event, everybody. They bookmarked this show with Owen Hart tournament matches. So this one, it was a main event. That's all I can say about it. It actually had me excited, and then I watched it, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I built it up more in my head, but it was just like, I don't know. But it was Hangman Adam Page taking on Will Ospreay in the Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament final. It went just shy of 37 minutes. It's Magnum LGBT versus Karen Ospreay in this match. Yeah. Why does Hangman's new music, by the way, sound like evil carnival music? It sucks. It's awful. He needs to bring back his old music. Ospreay has some church windows in his Tron, like while he's giving some big self-aggrandizing speech before his entrance. I don't know why. I just couldn't get into this match for the longest time, and I love both of these guys, so I don't know. Ospreay hits all the moves, but couldn't finish Hangman off. Ospreay tries to Tiger Driver Page on the commentary table, but Page tries to turn it into the Dead Eye, but the table just collapses. So he stands up and hits a Dead Eye on him anyway. Okie doke. They have a showdown in the ring, but Hangman was quicker, hitting the buckshot for a near fall. Next time he tries it, Ospreay hits the hidden blade and then a Stormbreaker and gets a near fall. So they've both kicked out of each other's big moves at this point. Cool. Hangman gets the buckshot reversed into a Stormbreaker, which he reverses as well into a spinning lariat. Hangman hits one more buckshot lariat for the win. So there you go. Mercedes and Hangman both wore pink and black, by the way, while Hayter and Ospreay did not. So they kind of advertised the winners. Is my camera messing up on me? Oh, wow. It has messed up. Okay, give me a sec. Technical difficulties, everybody. I apologize. My apologies, young lady. All right, there we go. I hate this camera. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Get the light on. There we go. All right. Suck. Anyway. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, so either way, they kind of advertised the winners. I didn't think about it until the end. I was like, wow. So Hangman, like the two winners wore the pink and black. The two losers wore whatever the hell they had in their bag. Cool. I gave this 3.5 stars. It should have been better. Of course, CageMatch.net gave it 4 3/4 stars. A damn near perfect match. I just could not. I couldn't get into it. I tried. I like these guys. I don't like Hangman. Like Hangman seems kind of like a douche in real life. Kind of the same for Will Ospreay. Seems a little douchey. I don't know, but yeah, like I said, Karen Ospreay and Magnum LGBT just couldn't pull off a match that I gave a single damn about. But Hangman celebrates with the Owen Hart Foundation tournament title belt as confetti drops and pyro blows. He goes up to the trophy on the stage before getting back in the ring with a dejected-looking Will Ospreay. Will stands up, Paige offers a hand, and they shake. The show ends with Paige posing with the title in front of the trophy. Is my feed working? It looks it's showing like it's still messed up on YouTube. Or, oh, I think I'm behind. Why does it keep doing that to me on YouTube? I think I'm behind. I don't know. Anyway. Sorry, everybody. Technical difficulties. I'm just going to ignore it. All right, there we go. Yep. All right, it is fixed. Gosh. Sometimes I hate YouTube streaming. Anyway. Getting into this, though. Where are we? Oh. Sorry, gotta backtrack a little bit. He goes up to the trophy on the stage before getting back in the ring with a dejected-looking Will Ospreay. Will stands up, Paige offers a hand, and they shake. The show ends with Paige posing with the title in front of the trophy. Several AEW wrestlers are reportedly dealing with injuries following Double or Nothing, particularly after Anarchy in the Arena. The Wrestling Observer noted that participants came out pretty banged up, and while no one is expected to be out for the long stretch, some may miss a couple of weeks of in-ring action. Adam Page also admitted to feeling the physical toll after his match with Will Ospreay. Page reflected on his challenging past few years in AEW during the post-show media scrum. I hate those, by the way. I don't think wrestling should have those. Uncle Dave Meltzer and nephew Brian Alvarez specifically mentioned that the Young Bucks are among those recovering, and likely won't wrestle for a few weeks. I mean, I'm not too shocked about that. Despite the wear and tear, no major injuries have been reported that would sideline talent long term. So there. But that's the show. I guess it's time to get into the final ratings here. Internet Movie Database gave this an 8 out of 10. CageMatch.net, unsurprisingly, gave it a 9.52 out of 10. They think we're so back, baby, but they're really, really not. And I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. It was fine. Just fine. It wasn't earth-shattering. It wasn't amazing. It didn't make me think, oh, this is AEW at its best. It was not. I don't know. I was really disappointed because I'm like, man, this is the first AEW show I watched in a long time, and it was just kind of poop. There was some good stuff on it. Don't get me wrong. It didn't blow me away. It didn't. I don't know. It didn't set my goose loose, if you know what I mean. But that's it for that one. It's my second ever live podcast. It is my first ever live current show review. And my camera's messing up again like I'm in an NWO promo. So that's cool. Well, now it's... Oh, there it goes. Hold on a sec. Do. I don't know why it does this. Like, nobody's touching it. Like, I'm not touching it. Not touching you. Not touching you. It just randomly flips out. I think there's got to be a short in it, because I've tried it in different, it's a USB camera, and I've tried it in different USB slots, and it does the same thing in all of them. And my mic does not do that. It's only the camera, so I really don't know. Regardless, so this was a couple of firsts here for the main event marks. Tried to shake things up a little bit. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you'd rather listen in audio form, I am available everywhere you get podcasts, mostly Spotify and Apple Podcasts are what I would direct you to. I will post that show probably by the end of day. So by tonight, it should be live everywhere. So check that out. Or you can watch the VOD if you came in late. It will stay up on Rumble and YouTube. So there you go. And tell all your friends and family. I really do appreciate it and all of that. So, definitely like, share, subscribe, comment down below with what you want me to review. If there are any specific shows you would like me to review, let me know. Either in a video comment, or you can hit me up on social media. You can see here on on Facebook, I'm Marks on Media Tube. I don't check that a whole lot, but X and Instagram, it's at Marks_on_media. I do mostly Marks on Media stuff now, but I still am trying to keep the podcast alive, just trying to get back into wrestling a little bit here. I just posted a video not long ago for any toy hunters out there, kind of going through my collection in my room, or in my new office here, showing off some of it. Not a lot of it, but some of it. And, there will be more to come for sure. So look out for that. And, you go back and check that out. That's live. I post Fig Hunt videos whenever I can as shorts. And if you're into movies, TV shows, video games, whatever, I got a video coming out tomorrow about Ubisoft. And the absolute state of the company, good, bad, and indifferent. I'll be going over that in detail in less than, it should be a video under 6 minutes, but around the 6-minute mark. But check that out. I post new content every single day, Monday through Friday. I appreciate you all being here. I don't know what my next show will be. Like I said, I'm taking suggestions, any retro shows you would like me to watch and review and whatever. Also, go back through the archives. There's literally hundreds of shows that Greg and I have done that are in the archives. Over 100 shows, I should say. We're pushing 200 at this point. Over 200. I forgot. There's a ton of bonus episodes, too, that didn't get numbered. So, while this is episode 192, there are just a butt ton of bonus shows as well. So, it's well over 200 episodes. Lots and lots of time. Ramon, how about you... kiss my ass, but that will be my sign off, is telling you to kiss my ass. But anyway, thank you all for being here today. Glad you could all tune in. Like I said, check out the archives. I'm not solo, except now I am, but because it's a lot easier to stream solo. But we'll see you maybe next week if I can figure out something to watch and review. We might talk about Dark Side of the Ring. I'm trying to catch up with that again. And we will see you later.